Monk.
Hey, man, hey, look, I'll be with you in a second. Just gotta give this to the cook. Oh, unless you know what you want already.
No, I don't need anything. I would like to talk to you.
Me now?
Yeah, why don't you see if you can get a couple of minutes off?
Okay, I'll try.
Yes, I'll hold. Yes, this is his wife. Just tell him... Never mind. Just tell him I said to call me when he comes back. Thank you.
This here's on the house, man.
Does the manager know about this?
The assistant manager, it's okay, I got about 10 minutes.
Yeah, what about the drink?
Hey, I'll pay for that. Something wrong. You don't look too happy.
Neither does a little boy who lost a watch here yesterday. Did you happen to find one?
Oh, you mean the watch with the little TV screen?
Yes, did you find that?
How'd you know to ask me about it?
Well, his grandfather, Charles Carpenter, is all up in arms about this whole thing, Monk, and he believes you're the one who stole it.
I didn't steal it. It was in the booth, and I tried to catch them, but they had already gone.
Well, did you bring it here with you today?
Forgot all about it. You know, when I couldn't find the old man and his kid, I just put it in my pocket, and I had to finish my shift. I was going to bring it with me today and take it up to the college, lost and found. But I wore some different pants because Carla said she wanted to do the wash.
Are you telling me that the watch is in the same pants that you had yesterday?
That's where I left it.
Oh, my goodness. I hope she hasn't done the wash yet. Where's their phone?
It's over there. Hey, Gene, is Mr. Carpenter gonna get me in trouble, man?
He sure would like to. He's already called the police.
Hey, I didn't steal it, Gene, honest.
Well, Monk, you should have known to turn that watch into the manager. You know better than that.
I wasn't thinking, I was working. Come on, man, you think I stole it too, don't you? Go ahead and say it.
Monk, I want us to be able to say anything to each other without getting all uptight about this thing. Now, listen. Now, I was a little suspicious about this, and I apologize for that. This thing is going to work out. Everything is going to be all right. I just want you to know, don't worry about anything. I believe you.
Hello?
Carla, listen. We might have a slight problem here, and I hope not.
Where are you?
I'm down at the huddle here with Monk, and Monk found the watch. He put it in his pants pocket, but apparently what happened is that Eric dropped the watch. Monk came across the watch after Eric and his grandfather left. So he was gonna bring the watch back, but what happened is the pants that he had the watch in, he changed those because he said that you said something about you were gonna do the wash. Are you?
I sure am. In fact, it's gyrating right now in the utility room. I tell you, it's a good thing I go through pants pockets, mister.
Oh, great. You found it.
I sure did. And you tell Monk that if he's thinking about cashing in on it, he better find a better place to hide it than his pants pocket.
Well, we all make mistakes sometimes, Carla. I guess, maybe just a bit absent-minded.
Absent-minded? Gene, he stole the watch. It must have cost a fortune. Have you seen it?
Carla, please, I don't have time to discuss this right now. Would you just please hang on to the watch? We'll be there in a few minutes to pick it up.
Did you tell the police?
I'll tend to that later. I want to get the thing back to Carpenter.
Is Monk going with you?
No, I hadn't planned on it. Why?
Well, I think he should be the one to take the watch back, don't you?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe both of us should go over there. Just a minute. Monk, why don't you see if you can get some time off between now and, say, 12?
Hey, this is a bad time to be cutting out of here, man.
Hey, I don't know what to tell you, but this is an emergency, and I suggest that you tell your manager that. Carla?
I heard him. He doesn't want to face the music, does he?
Look, now I know how you feel, but would you please give the boy a break for once? Now, we just have the watch ready because we're coming over there in a few minutes to take that thing back to Carpenter.
All right. I'll look for you when I see you.
All right. Oh, and, thanks for saving our neck, lady.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
I'll be right with you to get your orders.
Thank you.
You know, Dave, I really appreciate everything you've been doing for me.
Well, don't mention it.
No, really, I do, because, you know, taking me to dinner last night and lunch today. I don't know if you hadn't taken pity on me. I guess I just would have gone hungry.
I'm not doing it out of pity, Nancy. Just think of it as, well, let's say, preventive medicine.
Speaking of medicine, I've been taking mine faithfully every single day.
Well, good. That should help control your blood pressure.
I guess I'm not your best patient, am I?
Well, let's just say that you're a little bit stubborn, okay?
Hey, look, I want to show you that I have not been sitting back idly. Look at this. I've been here, and this one here.
Oh, good.
And this one had a box number, so I wrote to them. But this one, I've already got an interview. And it's with a photo processing company.
Well, does it look promising?
Well, you know how these things are. I just have to wait and see.
Well, maybe you should look into some temporary work until something more permanent comes along.
Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to ask you, I would love to work at the clinic. You know, I'm in there every day anyway, and it'd be a great way to pay you back.
No, that's very thoughtful of you, Nancy, but we're pretty well staffed right now. And not always with pay.
Look, I don't care about the money.
Oh, but I do. If you're going to get back on your feet, you need an income. Why don't you try a temporary agency?
This has got to be the worst time in the world to try and find temporary work, Dave. You know, all the college students are out, and the economy is really bad, and I don't know, I want to get something permanent.
Well, I'm sure you will, but it won't hurt getting an odd job for a while.
What, as a cleaning lady?
If necessary.
Well, my skills would go to waste.
Believe me, Nancy, if you do your best, nothing is ever wasted.
No, I don't think so.
All right, look, I guess I'm just going to have to come straight out and tell you. I can't continue taking you out for meals. I mean, you've got to be willing to take a little initiative of your own. Now, as I understand it, it's not all that hard to get temporary work. You simply have to register with an agency and then let them place you.
Well, all right, yeah, I'll try.
Well, good. Now, what does it say here under temporary?
I like your grandson, Mr. Carpenter, a lot. He's a very sweet boy.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Lucas. And he's all boy, I can certainly tell you that.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Where's Miriam?
I believe she's upstairs, sir.
Well, I don't want her to overhear this because she might misunderstand it, but I'd like to confide in you.
What is it?
Well, you know, of course, that I've never regretted having a daughter.
Oh, no, indeed, sir. You're very devoted to your daughter.
Oh, I didn't know it showed.
Oh, yes, constantly. Would that every girl could have such a doting father. Miriam is extremely lucky.
Well, I'm certainly glad somebody noticed it. You know, I've always adored Miriam. That little boy of hers is also very special to me. He doesn't have the Carpenter name, but he carries himself like a carpenter, don't you think?
Oh, yes, he does seem to favor your side of the family.
Oh, I don't mean looks. I mean what's inside. That's what I'm after. When I look at Eric, I see the future. Continuity with everything I've tried to build. Actually, when I look at Eric, I also glimpse immortality, perhaps. Something that I didn't quite feel with Miriam.
Oh, I'm sure Eric will want to follow in your footsteps, although your shoes will be very hard to fill.
Well, thank you.
Oh, not at all. That's just my opinion. Oh, guess what we're having tonight? It's going to be an Eric night. We're having French fried potatoes, all his favorite dishes with ketchup.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Lucas. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Oh, I hope you'll never have to. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
May I help you?
Yes, we're here to see Mr. Carpenter.
Well, I'm afraid he's occupied at the moment. What does this matter concern?
Mrs. Lucas?
Oh, Mr. Redlin and a young man to see you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Come in.
Good morning, Mr. Carpenter.
How do you do?
Fine. I'd like you to meet Monroe Lassiter, and we're happy to tell you that he found your grandson's watch.
Well, he must be very deft. It was in Eric's pocket.
I didn't steal that watch, Mr. Carpenter. I found it on the seat where he was sitting yesterday.
Well, we're going to let the police handle that.
Oh, wait a minute. He is telling you the truth. I want to tell you something, too. Now, Monk does have a police record, and he is presently under probation under my supervision. I can personally vouch that he would not risk that probation. He knows full well what that means. That's why he held onto the watch and returned it to you as a favor.
I'm sure. Did you enjoy playing with it?
I didn't touch it, except to pick it up off the seat.
I'm surprised that you haven't found a free market for it.
Carpenter, I'm asking you to call off the dogs.
I'm
Now,
sorry. Oh, ma'am. I have Eric's watch back.
Ah, temporary agencies. Let me see. Here they are. Gosh, there's about 6 of them.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, thanks. Well, I really am going to try one of these today.
I don't think you'll regret it.
Well, enough about me, Dave. What's all this to do, I hear, about Lee Carruthers?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, you know how everybody talks.
Yes, but I don't really have time for gossip.
Well, neither do I, but I heard there was some kind of business between you and him.
Nancy, if you're looking for some kind of juicy tidbit, you're not going to find it here.
Well,
Believe
that's
me.
not what I meant. I was just wondering, okay? I didn't mean to pry.
Well, nevertheless, I think you should put all that mental energy into improving your own situation right now.
Dave, you know, you're the only person since all of this mess has happened to me that's shown me any sympathy.
No, I doubt that.
No, you have, really. I don't know what it is. I think we just think alike or something. You're so easy to talk to.
Nancy,
No, really. I think it must be just our chemistry or something.
listen to me, Nancy. My wanting to help you has nothing to do with any romantic interest or even friendship. I mean, I'm glad to do it, but you've got to see it for what it is.
I thought you said it wasn't pity.
It isn't. It's just a helping hand. And I think if you were honest with yourself, you'd see that there are people who wanted to extend you a helping hand.
Dave, if you had any idea how people have treated me, you wouldn't believe it.
I don't know how to make my position any clearer. Now look, is there a listing in here for the Aragona agency?
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay, now why don't you try them first? I used to use them when I was practicing here before, and they're really very good.
Can I use you as a reference?
Certainly. But you've got to promise me to go there today.
I will.
But, Daddy, don't you see, if you press charges, it could ruin Monk's life.
Miriam, your heart is much too big to rule your head. I'll take care of it.
No, wait, you have absolutely no proof that what they're saying is not true.
I certainly do, and I would also like to say that there are hundreds of criminals out there on parole who should be locked up.
Monk isn't a criminal.
Miriam, look, I appreciate this, but I really think that...
Wait, just let me talk here. Daddy, Monk has come here in person to return Eric's watch, and it isn't broken. He's only trying to do what's right. And what about the Redlands? They were the only ones who would take me in when everybody else in the world thought I was hopeless. Now, is that what you're trying to say? Do you think even now I'm hopeless?
Of course I'm not.
Okay, well, what about Monk? He isn't either. He's trying every bit as hard as I was trying to do the right thing for a change, so you don't punish him for it. Just thank him for it.
You are being ridiculous.
I am not. Look, a lot of other kids would have taken that watch. They'd cashed it in a second. Daddy, so help me. If you continue on it, if you don't change...
All right, Mim. But I don't think we should air our views in front of these people.
You're wrong this time. You are. I just know.
All right, I'll drop it. Mrs. Lucas? I believe these gentlemen are leaving.
Yes, sir. This way, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot.
Don't you ever speak to me like that in front of strangers again.
Daddy, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't really mean to, but I just knew you were wrong.
Taking sides against me with people that you shouldn't even be associating with, it's appalling.
Now, calm down. I am not taking sides, Daddy. I just know somehow in my heart that Monk is innocent. And I know, too, that his word could never stand up against yours.
Well, I should hope not.
I'm sorry you and your daughter had words. Is there anything I can do to help?
No, Mrs. Lucas, I'm afraid not.
Oh, I'm sure it was just an isolated incident, don't you think?
I wish I did, but it seems to be too much of a pattern now, and I simply don't know how to deal with it.
Well, if you'll pardon my intrusion...
No, sit down. I'd welcome advice.
Well, you and I are of a different generation, aren't we?
We certainly are.
When our children grow up, they tend to stop acquiescing our wishes. Then we can live through our grandchildren, like you said earlier on. And that makes our children a little easier to bear, doesn't it?
Boy. Hey, Carla!
I think she's in the back.
What happened?
Well, I tell you, he backed down, but it was close.
You sure are one lucky guy, Monk.
Hey, you know what? You should have saw that Miriam. She was some kind of spitfire. Gosh.
Yeah, I'm glad she wanted to be that carpenter. Ooh, he's a tough dude.
It was an expensive watch.
Yeah, well, he saw the light, baby.
You're one lucky guy.
Carla, now look, being right has something to do with this, too, so don't forget about that.
Okay, great. I think I better check on the dryer.
Carla, Monk is going to be here this afternoon. I just thought you should know that.
Don't you have to work?
I was going to, but Jean had me ask for the afternoon off.
Look, I didn't know how long it was going to take to clean this mess up. So he's here if you need him, all right?
Thanks.
Man, she hates my guts.
Monk, no, she doesn't. Now, she's just pregnant, man, and she's not feeling too well, that's all.
Yeah, maybe.
Look, don't worry about this, okay?
Monk,
Yeah?
some of your shirts are still in the dry, but when they come out, you can carry them up to your room and hang them.
Oh, well, what about the other stuff? Can I help you fold anything?
No, it's done. It's too bad Jean got you the rest of the afternoon off. They probably could have used you at the huddle.
Carla,
What?
I didn't steal that watch.
I didn't say you did.
Yeah, I know, but I want to tell you what happened, just in case you was wondering. I found it. I guess the kid had dropped because it was right in the seat where he was sitting.
Well, they've got it back now. That's the important thing.
And I wanted to return it, and I tried right after they had left, but it was too late. So I just stuck it in my pocket.
And I found it.
Yes, but I wasn't going to keep it. I just forgot. You know, I just forgot it was there.
But why are you explaining yourself? You don't owe me any explanation.
Yes, I do, because you don't believe me. And why don't you believe me?
All right. You asked me, so I'll tell you. It's not just the watch business, Monk. It's everything. It's how you turn up missing every night, and your background.
But what have I done?
I don't know. Where were you last night?
Last night?
Yes. You get off from work at the huddle at 8 o'clock. You didn't show up here until midnight. What were you doing?
I was out. I was just out.
Oh, now that's not a heck of a lot for me to go on. What were you doing?
Walking. I was just using my feet.
Until midnight.
Yeah.
And you expect me to believe that?
Look, I know that I'm in the way around here, so I thought you and Jean would be glad to have the place to yourselves. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just like to go out.
Just walking after being on your feet all day, huh?
Look, what would it take to convince you?
Maybe it would help if you would stop standing there looking like you're lying through your teeth.
Oh, Mrs. Van Winkle, this is Mildred Henderson with Arizona Employment Agency. Just fine. And you? Good. I think I found that temporary help you were looking for. Yes, her name is Nancy Lawson, and she can start right away. Is that right? Today? She can even come in today if you like. Oh, she's plenty qualified. Yes, she can even do some light typing if you need it. Fine. I'll send her over. Uh-huh. You're welcome.
Have I got it?
You certainly do.
Oh, that's great.
Now, all I need is for you to sign this slip to take with you. Mrs. Van Winkle will give you a timesheet to fill out.
Oh, that's great. I just can't tell you how excited I am. You know, I've been to 3 other agencies and nothing.
Well, we pride ourselves on our temporary service.
Well, what's the name of the company?
Well, it's not a company, actually. You'll be working in the office of a Mr. Charles Carpenter.